Hi guys, it is Tuesday, July 30th, 2019, and I'm here to do my July video. This is take number 2 of this video. I did this video yesterday, and when I went to play it back, I got about halfway through it and the sound just completely cut out. You could see my mouth moving, but there was no sound. So here we are. We're going to try this again. I closed some windows. Hopefully we'll get all the way through this with sound, because I do not want to do this a third time. July was a decent month. Um, I did some stitching. I did some shopping. Probably more shopping than stitching. But you know, that's how it goes. So I have some WIPs, and I have a finish, an old finish, and I have some haul and some general chatter and some plans. So we'll get started. We'll start with WIPs. My first WIP is always my girl, Deepest Love. She lives in my Keep Calm and Craft On bag from Little Yellow House Crafts. This is what she looks like. Deepest Love by Mirabilia. I'm sure you've all seen her. She's an old Mirabilia. She's Mirabilia number 42. And I think that they're up to like 160 something. So here she is. That's where I am on her. I did this month. I need to get one of those boards like Stephanie at Resource Crafty has. I did her sleeve this month. This is kind of awkward. Let me do this way. That's better. I did her sleeve this month. And I think I did this part of her wrap right here, the bottom edge of her wrap. I think I had done some of this too. I think I finished some of this. I don't remember exactly what I had done last month, but today actually I started on this green part, which is the next part of her tail into her wrap. So that's exciting. I just gotta finish filling this in, and then I'll be ready to move on to page 2 of my working copy. And that's exciting. I'm making progress. So there she is. Deepest Love. She's probably gonna stay at work until Thanksgiving. I don't like to bring it home until I feel like I could finish it within a week or two, or like 2 or 3 weeks after I bring it home. And she's like still quite a ways away. I still have a long way to go on her, so she'll probably stay at work until Thanksgiving, and then I'll bring her home and finish her over Christmas. If I get the urge to bring her home before that, then I will, but I'll be surprised if that happens. And then besides that, this has kind of been the month of full coverage. So my next WIP that I worked on was Winter Shoes by Heritage Stitchcraft. And this is small, but it's full coverage. It's 70 stitches by 70 stitches. And I took the week of my birthday off work, and I worked on that. I worked on this that week. Having had a week off, you would think I would have done more. I think I put about 1,000 stitches in it. So This is where that is. So I'm at about halfway. There's 4,900 stitches, and I think I'm right at about 23 or 2,400 stitches. If you remember from last time, I had when I started it back, I think like in 2010 or 11ish. I had started in the center, and I had done. Sorry, all these park threads are in the way, but um, sorry. Um, I had done some of these buildings, and then when I pulled it out this year, I I gridded my way over to the corner up here, and I started in the corner. And thank goodness, when I got over here, they matched. And then when I got down here, they match. So thank goodness for that, because it would have been a nightmare if they didn't. So that's where I am on winter shoes. And then my other full coverage piece that I worked on, that I think I also put about 1,000 stitches into. Um, this is my page that I started in June. This is story Keep Littlest Fairy, artwork by Selena Fennick, charted by Michelle Sayeda for Hade. So that's her. And I think I put about 1,000 stitches into this month too. Um, so there she is. I finished her wing for the most part, and I believe I gotta finish the edge of the square right here, and then I gotta finish the square down here, and I believe the next diagonal starts getting into her face. So I'm excited about that. So there's excuse my messy hair. There's the Littlest Fairy by Heaven and Earth. And I think that's all I stitched on this month. I carded Land of Liberty with me, but it didn't actually get any stitches in it. At the beginning of the month, on July 9th, I went to take the paralegal exam. And I know that they give you, I thought it was 2 hours, it's 2.5 hours. They give you 2.5 hours to take this exam. And I know I can finish it in about an hour. But I also know that you can't leave when you're done with the exam. You gotta wait for the 2.5 hours, because then you gotta come back and take the computer part of the exam where they try to find out, do you lie, do you steal, do you job hop, do you call out? It's like a personality inventory. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have a bunch of waiting around to do, so I'm gonna take this with me and maybe I'll get some progress on it. Well, I was hoping. When I got in the room, it looked to me, the test part is pencil and paper, and then the personality inventory is on the computer. And when I got in the room, it looked to me like maybe there were more people than computers, and I was hoping that they would kind of give the personality part kind of in shifts, and then I could finish the test early and take the computer early and go home early. So when I finished the test, I thought she said be back at 3:15. Which was only about 30 minutes from when I finished the test. And I was like, oh, great. No. She said be back at 3:50. So when I thought I only had 30 minutes, I had gone down the street and I had gotten myself Starbucks, and I had come back and I thought, oh, well, they're going to call us in any minute. And so I just sat in the lobby, and then they ended up not calling us until like 4 o'clock or after 4 o'clock. So I didn't get any progress on that at that day. And then the following Saturday, the Saturday before my birthday, my friend bribed me. She wanted to go to the casino because she's addicted. And so she thought, oh, well, I'll bribe Laurel. I'll offer to give her some money to get her to go to the casino with me. So she gave me some money. I went to the casino with her, but I've done this with her before. And I know that I always have less money and I always run out of money first. And then I'm sitting there for an hour, hour and a half looking for something to do. And so I thought, well, I'm going to take my project with me. And then when she's still losing her money, um, I'll have something to occupy myself for a little while. But it turned out that we took the bus. You can catch the bus. It leaves the location at a specific time. And then it comes back to the casino. It picks you up at a specific time to come back. And so it turned out that the amount of money she gave me was enough for the amount of time that I had. And so I didn't work on my project that day either. And then just this past weekend, yesterday I was off work, and the management had put out a sign saying they were going into all of the units to do something. They didn't say what it was. And so I thought, well, I really hate that. But I thought, well, I'm going to hang out at the Coffee Bean for a little while, and hopefully they'll come in while I'm gone and do what they need to do and get out. So I took it down there, and I stayed down there an hour, hour and a half. And I don't know if they were here or not. I was home the rest of the day. They didn't come while I was home. I was gone all day today. I don't know if they came today. I don't know what they did. I have no idea. But I still didn't work on it when I was down at the Coffee Bean. So I've been carting it around in my purse, but it hasn't got any stitches. So my poor neglected Land of Liberty. So those are my WIPs for this month. Plans for August. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm going to participate in the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch group is having their marathon the weekend after next, the weekend of August 9th. I'm going to participate in that. I didn't participate in the last one because I went to a funeral that weekend and it didn't work out. And I'm like, it's not going to work. This one, I put in my time slip for today to take that Friday off. And I'm going to participate in this one. I did make plans with a friend to see her on that Saturday. So I'll work around that. We'll see if that happens. She might cancel on me. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll probably go out to lunch or go out to dinner or something. It'll just be a couple of hours. I'll work around that. So, and then I have, and then there's Arbitrary August. And I did create a wheel on Tiny Decisions for Arbitrary August. I might participate in that. I don't know. So we'll see. It's going to be arbitrary whether I use the wheel or not. It's going to be arbitrary because I've kind of, I'm not working with very much of a structure right now. I'm just kind of doing what I want to a degree. I'm kind of limiting my choices. I'm not going through all of my WIPs and picking whatever WIP I want. I've kind of got it limited to like 6 or 7 choices. But I've been kind of just doing what I want. I was watching Annette's Acre, and she was talking about how she usually spends about 4 days on a project, and then she gets tired of it. She switches projects. And I don't do that because I don't stitch that intensely that I get tired of it after 4 days. But I think after having worked on Winter Shoes and on The Littlest Fairy, I think I get tired of it at about 1,100, 1,200 stitches. And it's easy to count them on that because they're in blocks of 100. But when I think back to when I was working on Under the Evergreen and when I work on some of these other projects, That seems like it's maybe about right. That uh, that my face is really itchy tonight. That seems like it's about right. 1200 stitches, and I'm ready to move on to something else for a while. So, thank you for solving that mystery for me, Annette. I got other stuff to blame you for later too. Stay tuned. Um, so yeah, you'll have to come back at the end of August to see what Laurel does, because I don't know. I think for the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon, I'm going to work on winter shoes, and I'm going to see if I can kind of push that towards a finish or get a finish on it. Because I think I need 2,500 stitches, which is kind of a big ask in 2 days. I don't really think that I can do that, but I might kind of do some of it beforehand and see if I can bring that down a little bit. And then, but in any case, if I get several hundred stitches or 1,000 stitches into that, it's that much closer to a finish, and that would be wonderful. I'm kind of itching for a finish. Yeah, I'm kind of itching for a finish. The last thing I finished was Shabbat Table Topper in April, and so I'm trying to finish something, and either Winter Shoes or Land of Liberty are the best candidates at this point. So, oh, yeah, I have a finish. What did I do with it? If you remember my April finish, I didn't have it when I made my video. I had given it to somebody at FFO. I had given it to a friend to FFO. It's still not FFO'd. She got I wanted her to put the interfacing on the back, and she got it and she sewed it on, and it wasn't quite right. And she took it off and she did it again, and it still wasn't quite right. And I said, I think it would be better if we just ironed it on. And I think she got cold feet about that. And she's like, I don't want to be responsible for that. So she gave it back to me. Anyway, so it's not FFO'd. But I have it back so I can show it to you. So this is Shabbat Table Topper by Dutch Treat. And I finished this on April 22nd. It's about 22 inches square. I started this in 2003 or 2004-ish, something like that. 2002, something. And I'm going to show you a close-up of the squares. I started it, and I did the first 2 squares. Most of it. I didn't do all of them, but here's a close-up of the squares. And it's just 4 repeats of these 2 squares. And I did most of it. I did the motifs in the center, and I did the blue outlines, and I did this light blue border here at the bottom, and I did some of the grapes. And then it sat that way until 2017. And I picked it up in 2017, and I picked it up for Wine and Whips, and I did 1 square. And then in 2018, I picked it up for Wine and Whips, and I did 3 squares. And then in 2019, I made it my work project in January, and I had 6 squares done. So it took me from January to April to finish the last 2 squares, and to get all of the dark blue borders done, and all of the grapes, and all of the outside border, and everything else, all of the details finished. So I finished it. Yay! So there's my Shabbat Table Topper. So yay! This was on my 2012 list, and I'm always happy to knock a project off that list. I'm hoping to knock 2 more off this year. I'm hoping to knock off Deepest Love is on that list, and Winter Shoes is on that list. So if I can knock both of those off, that would be fantastic. I try to knock a couple off every year. Trying to make that list go away. There are some big projects on there, so it's still going to be a while. There's like 5 Teresa Winslow projects. And after Deepest Love, there's still 2 Mirabilias, and there's Jeannie's Blue Blast from The Silver Lining. So there's still quite a few very large projects on there. So it's going to be a while, but if I can shrink that list to be just a few projects, that would be great. All right, where are we? We are at Hall. Yeah. So let me put some of this away real quick. Um, so Trisha at 3 All Threads had placed an order from Soda Stitch, and she had put a post saying, I'm about to order, what do you guys want? And I had requested these 2 to complete my set, and she got them in, and I got them. 4 Seasons Summer and 4 Seasons Spring. I already have Autumn and Winter, so I don't know if I'm going to do them together or if I'm going to do them separately. I have no idea what I'm going to do. But I have all 4 of them now. Some evil person posted her finish of this on, I think on Stitch Mania probably. And I thought, that's pretty. And I went on eBay and I found it. Windflowers by Dimensions. And then I got this from Stash Mode too. This is the Scattered Seed Samplers. Peace and Plenty. Peace and Plenty. Did I say please? Peace and Plenty. So it says it's a scissor mat, which I thought was interesting. I might finish that and take that to work. Maybe I'll leave it here. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. I've never heard of that before, a scissor mat. And this, they stitched it in NPI. I doubt that I'll do that. Maybe I'll stitch it in Silks for You. But where that is. And then this I was very surprised that I got. I've had several of these lately where I was like, wow, this is still here? Nobody's claimed this yet? Because there's a lot of things that they get claimed as soon as they go up. And I was surprised that this was still available. And it was for like a normal price. I thought that it was out of print and it was going to be jacked way up. And I don't know if the seller didn't know, or if she wasn't concerned, or if it's not as out of print as I think it is, but I think it is out of print. But it is The Book of Spells by the Good Housewife, which Emily at Eclectic Possessions did last year or the year before. It's right up her alley. So I got that. So I was happy with that. I was excited about that. I have another one coming that I thought that I know is out of print. And that was it was definitely marked up. I'll show it to you next month. It's not here yet. But it was definitely marked up. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't like, some of these ridiculous amounts people ask for things like Lady of the Flag. Every time I think of this, I think of Megan May Stitching May, saying, why do stitchers do this to each other? So it wasn't that bad, but it was definitely marked up a little bit. Anyway, so now on to blaming Annette. I was watching Annette, and she was talking about how she has been on a project bag buying spree. And I thought, me too, thank you. Annette is wise enough to start making them herself. Well, she's talented enough with the sewing machine to start making them herself. I am not that talented with the sewing machine. I'm lucky that I can sew a straight line. I can barely sew a straight line. So I will not be doing that. But I have been buying them. And, last month I had bought one from Gary at Gayron's Cotton Bags. And I was like, I'm not sure about the size. I don't know. Well, he put up another batch. And I was like, oh, that's pretty. And then he put up another batch. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty too. So I have this one. This, I do not like the size. I thought, well, let me try it and see. But I'm not going to order the size anymore. This is a 12 by 18 size. And it would be great, like, if I had a squirrel rod or something, but I don't think that I like the size. I like the pattern. I like the print, so I got it. But I don't think that I'll order the size anymore. But it's very pretty. And then I got this one. I was sorry that I missed his July bag of the month because it was American flags and red pickup trucks. It was great, and I was sorry that I didn't get that one. And I think it was exclusive to that. I don't think he released them for general sale. But they did have this one. This is the 12 by 13 size. They did have this one, so I got this one. And this makes me feel like I need to have like a large patriotic project, like Let Freedom Ring or Lady of the Flag or something. I do not have that. I'm not likely to start it anytime soon. But this bag makes me feel like I need one. So I got that. And then he put up another batch, and I got a parakeets. When I was a kid, my babysitter had parakeets. She had 2 parakeets and she had a cockatiel. And the parakeets did not like to be in the cage. They would stay in there as long as the door was open, but if you tried to close the door, they would get out. So her daughter is a few years younger than me, and her daughter was really good at. She would kind of. The cage was up on a stand, so she would kind of come at it from underneath, and then hit the cage before they could see her, and close the door. But she had I think it was a blue one and a yellow one. Yeah, I think she had a blue one and a yellow one, or a blue one and a green one, or a green one and a yellow one. She had 2. I think they were green and yellow. But so this bag reminds me of those of her parakeets. And then I joined Emily's group at Eclectic Possessions, her Mommy bags, Emily and Diana. And this is like the perfect bag size. It's only slightly smaller than the ones that I was buying from Nell at Little Yellow House Crafts. This is her half size bag. And it's like the perfect size. So this is the one that I got. Here's the back print with the path and the fox and the deer and the animals. And then it's a clear front bag, and the inside is this neutral uh, woven pattern, which I really like. I thought she paired that together well. So I got my first Mommy bag. So that is my stash. I do have that other order coming with my other out of print chart and a couple of other things that I got from that seller. Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea what August is gonna look like. Except I do know that I want to participate in the marathon. I printed out the July acrostic, and I am never going to keep up with that. It's a lot of fun to do, but or to pretend to plan, but I am never going to keep up with that acrostic. I think I probably could make 3 or 4 of them work with what I did in July. But I'm never going to finish it. I'm never going to keep up with it. Um, yeah. So that's my stitching for the month. I got my score for the paralegal test, and I got a 91. This is the 3rd year that I've taken the test, and every year I take the test, my score goes down. So that's not great. But I think that's all that I have for this month. So I hope you guys all have a great August, and I hope you all are participating in the marathon. If you're in Los Angeles and you want to participate in the marathon and you want to get together, please let me know. I was thinking about getting a room, and I had posted on the group, if you're in Los Angeles and if you want to come and hang out, let me know. I haven't gotten any response. I'm not going to pay for the room to do it by myself. I can stitch by myself for free at home. I thought about inviting my friend to come, but she's in school and she's going to be getting ready for her finals that week, I think. So I don't think she's going to be interested. She's going to need the weekend to study. So if you're interested and you want to come hang out, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to stitch for free at home. And I hope you guys all have a great stitching month. And I will see you all next time. Bye.